All right, we're back in the clinic, and I have Alan here on the table. He's going to help us today. And we're in incandescent lighting, okay, low lighting, because we're going to demonstrate the effects of artificial lighting on our bodies, on our mitochondria, as well as other EMFs, electromagnetic fields. So Alan is going to just hold his arm up here, and I'm just going to check the overall strength of his arm. Hold strong. Okay, elbow straight. Don't let me pull. Okay. He's strong, but he's not locking. Hold this straight. Hold strong. Okay. No, he's a strong guy, I know. Hold this leg out to the side. Don't let me push in. Okay. Push out and hold. Okay, those are both weak. Now turn your foot in and push your leg up and out. Okay, tensor fasciae lata is weak. Same thing over here. See, now bend your knee and don't let me push here. Hold strong. Okay, rectus femoris is weak. Hold your head up and don't let me push down. Okay, so everything is weak. He's in a weakened state. So what I'm going to do is put this ground strap, hook it onto his ankle here, like being under house arrest. Okay, so this is connecting him to a ground rod outside, 8-foot copper ground rod into the earth, and that's flowing electrons into his body as if he was standing on the earth barefoot. Okay, hold this arm up, elbow straight, and don't let me pull. Okay, much different. You feel the difference?
Yep.
Okay. He is locking now. He's like strong like there. Okay. Hold this leg out to the side, push out, and turn up and turn in, push up. Okay, everything's strong now like it should be. So he's testable. Lift your head, hold strong. Okay, now I've got him in a strengthened, testable position. So we're going to, again, use this arm here, hold strong, as my reference. Now I'm going to turn on these blue lights here. Okay, and I want you to hold your arm strong again. Hold. Whoa, what happened? Hold strong. Look it. Lift your head. Hold strong. See, he's actually weaker than he was. Hold this leg out. Push out. See, everything's weak again. So that's because of the blue light is affecting, it's turning off his mitochondria, because there's not any red light there with it. So mitochondria are sensitive to colors of light, especially red and blue. So when you don't have the red light like you do in the sunlight, then the blue light turns off your mitochondria and you lose all your strength. So I'm going to add some red to this, and it's going to be a purple color. Okay, hold strong. See how that negates the weakening effect? Lift your head up, hold strong. All right, but the blue by itself, without any red, is not found in nature. I can use my little finger. Okay, so I'm not just pushing harder. Now, if I take some blue blocking glasses and put them on Alan, like that, and hold your arm up again, hold strong. He immediately gets strong because we're filtering out the blue. Can you see the blue through those?
Just a little bit down through here.
Okay, but I mean, when you look straight through, it blocks the blue.
Blocks it, yeah.
Okay, now if I expose his skin, though, to this light, hold strong. He goes weak, right? Cover it up, hold strong. If I take these off, hold strong, he goes weak. Okay, he's strong here. Put the light, hold, weakens when it hits the skin. Our skin has photoreceptors called melanopsin receptors for blue light. So it's not just our eyes that are affected by the light, it's our skin also. Our skin is actually more sensitive to light than the eyes. It's the biggest organ in the body. And so you can see how the blue light affects you. So if we add red again, I'm going to turn this light on here and add red to him. The blue light is still on, Take this off. Hold strong. And it negates the weakening effect. So even if there is artificial blue lit environment, if you add red light to it, it negates the weakening effect on your mitochondria. Can you turn that off, please? Thanks. So the blue light turns off the mitochondria, and it, turn those off, it destroys the DHA in your eye and brain that you need. It destroys melatonin that you need for sleep. It destroys the melanopsin in your skin. It causes all kinds of problems. It elongates the eye and causes myopia or nearsightedness. And then eventually that leads to retinal detachment and then acute macular degeneration. So this has far-reaching effects in the body. But the mitochondria are the most important power plants of our cells. When they aren't functioning, nothing's going to function. You can't heal, you can't rejuvenate, you can't digest and assimilate, you can't make all the cells, a billion cells an hour that you need to regenerate your body. So you need those mitochondria working, and the blue light turns it off, just like EMFs do. Now, if you can turn that back on, please. He's grounded, and he's got the red light on him, and he's good and strong. He's in a strengthened condition. Now, I'm going to give you something here. Hold on to that. Hold strong. Oh, what happened? He went weak. So this is a wireless mouse. It's putting out Bluetooth, 2.45 gigahertz. And then people have these on their hand on these all day at work. And the wireless keyboards also putting out that same 2.45 gigahertz. So that electromagnetic field of those microwaves turns off your mitochondria, just like the artificial EMFs from artificial light. So people have no idea because it's invisible. Now I'm going to walk over here. Now he's in a good strengthened position. Okay, he's in the light, he's grounded. Now what I'm going to do is take this wireless router and I'm going to plug it in, and it's going to boot up. It takes a minute. And I've got my high frequency radio frequency meter, and I'm going to turn it on, and you'll see it'll be about a 0.002 microwatts per square meter is the background. Okay? And I'm just going to lie it down here, and you're going to be able to hear what our nervous system hears when we're exposed to a Wi-Fi environment. It'll sound like a woodpecker. And this is constant. Whether you're using your computer or not, the Wi-Fi router is still pumping out this throughout your whole house or workplace. And this, I mean, if you had to listen to this, you'd turn it off. But this is what our nervous system is hearing, creating stress in our body, turning off our mitochondria. Now, when he holds his arm up, hold strong, see how that overrides the red light and the grounding, makes him weak. Wi-Fi router. These things are everywhere. Your kids are bathed in this in school all day. Turned it off, hold strong. Okay, turn our meter off. So these are invisible effects on our body that you can't touch, taste, see, hear. You can detect with meters, you can detect with manual muscle testing and things like that. But without that, you could use petri dishes over time and see changes to identical cultures and things, and but this gives you an immediate feedback. So imagine if you're in a gym going to work out, and you've got minimal clothing on, shorts and maybe a tank top, and you've got all this blue lit artificial lighting and Wi-Fi, and everybody's got their device, they're all looking at their phones and stuff. So as soon as you walk into this environment, all your muscles are weak. So you're going to lift weights and you're going to exercise in a weakened state like that. So you're just inviting injury. It predisposes you to stress and strain and injury. So it'd be better to work out outside without any lenses. Now our glasses and contact lenses filter beneficial light frequencies that we need when we're out in the sun. So we should have no filters, no lenses on our eyes. And in the morning when the sun rises, that starts our circadian biology, our circadian rhythm in our body, 24-hour light-dark cycle. And that creates the production of hormones. It starts as soon as the colors of rising sun hits our eyes. But how many people are outside at that time? So when you're outside normally, like we spent thousands of years living under the sun and in touch with the earth, we didn't need grounding straps and things because we slept on the ground, and like most all the mammals still do. But we were in touch with nature and we were watching the sun. Our feet were in touch with the earth. We didn't wear insulators on our feet like we do now, called shoes. Our beds are off the ground and our houses are insulated. So we have to have these hacks, but the way we're wired is to be out in nature. So our sun is changing color temperature throughout the day from sunrise to sunset. And our eye monitors that and tells the clock in our brain, called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, what time it is. And that controls our circadian biology, the cycles of hormones and neurotransmitters and things like that in the body. So when you look at artificial light, especially LED light or fluorescent or halogens that have that blue spike to it, you're telling your body, the clock in your brain, that it's high noon, solar noon, because the color temperature of the artificial light is the same as solar noon. So you're telling your body that it's midday, and your circadian rhythm shifts to that of midday cycle. So imagine if you're doing this before bed, you're going to look at your device, or you're watching an LED TV, and then you're telling your brain it's midday, everything shifts, and then you're going to try to go to sleep. Ain't going to happen. So a couple things. You have to be outside in the morning getting ultraviolet A into your eye without any lenses to make melatonin. That's the nighttime hormone that we hear about when we talk about sleep. If you're not outside, you're not making it, you're not going to sleep. But say you were outside at the right time and you were making melatonin, but then you come in the evening in artificial light into this blue lit environment, you're going to destroy the melatonin that you'd made in the morning. But most people aren't out in the morning, they're not making it, and they're under the blue light, destroying any that they might have made. Shift workers, it's even worse. They're up all night under this artificial blue lit environment, and then they come home and they go to sleep because they're tired when they should be outside in the sun. So they're not sleeping either. They're having lots of sleep issues. This has been an ongoing problem in our practice for 10, 12 years. That's probably the number one complaint that we hear from people. So after the QE2, Obama's QE2, when they did the digital TV mandate, and they started pushing the LED TVs, everybody got LED TVs, and then computer monitors, and now it's smartphones and tablets and all kinds of things. There's car headlights now, and street lighting is LED, and it's everywhere. And it's affecting us, turning off our mitochondria, among other things, and people have no idea. Our blood is sensitive to light. The ultraviolet A in the morning creates something called nitric oxide, which vasodilates or dilates our capillaries, brings blood to the surface of the skin to be irradiated by the sun. And our red blood cells are actually shaped like little satellite dishes, and they're tuned to the spectrum of visible light. So they transport this light into our body, into our mitochondria. It's like a wireless connection from the sun into our mitochondria. We have specialized proteins that trap ultraviolet A. They're called aromatic amino acids, and they have these rings, porphyrin rings or benzene rings that are ultraviolet traps. And they trap this light and transport it into the body, and it's used internally. But if we're not exposed to this, if we're inside, glazing in windows blocks all the ultraviolet and most of the infrared. So most of what we get coming through the window is blue light. Same with windows in your car. And I mentioned glasses, contact lenses, and sunglasses block all the ultraviolet, most of the infrared. So you got to get outside without any filters on your eyes and get that full spectrum light every day, ideally in the morning. And you got to mitigate the exposure to the electromagnetic fields, especially cordless phones, the kind of the base station and the handset. They're both putting out microwaves into your environment. It's actually more powerful than your Wi-Fi router. So using a cell phone is actually safer than using a cordless phone if you compare the amount of radiation you get. So you want to go back to the Ethernet. Remember the Ethernet cables we had? And plug these into the router and turn off the wireless. This is faster than wireless, and it's safer. So these are some invisible influences, noxious influences on all of us that people aren't aware of. You know, if you go to a typical allopathic MD, you're in a blue lit environment, and you know, they draw your blood, which is sensitive to blue light in a blue lit environment. They analyze it in a blue lit environment. They have no idea how this is affecting us. But now that you know, we have to share this on a grassroots level and help people understand that these effects. So you can get blue blockers. You can use red light inside to negate the harmful effects of blue light, and also to treat the body, because red light turns on the mitochondria that the blue light turned off. But nothing compares with the sun, getting outside in the sun. And so hope this has been insightful for you, and we'll have more videos like this coming. Okay, welcome back to our clinic. On our previous segment, we demonstrated how lighting and other EMFs affect the body, and the worst of those was the Wi-Fi router. Actually, a cordless phone is worse than that. But I want to show you the effect of our sound table that can override these noxious influences. So even the Wi-Fi router. And then we've had people ask, well, how do you know it's the mitochondria that are at fault, making them weak? Well, I'm going to demonstrate that with a paper bag, actually. So in the mitochondria, in addition to the electron chain transport that we talked about before, the Krebs energy cycle, or tricarboxylic cycle, the citric acid cycle, it's sometimes called, that is a series of isoenzymes. It's a cascade of enzymatic changes that happen, and it kicks out there's certain nutrients required at each step, and then there's certain things given off. So carbon dioxide is given off at several points in the Krebs cycle. And when your Krebs cycle is not working because your mitochondria aren't working, then you're not putting out the CO2. So if I can get him in a weakened state to be strong by rebreathing some carbon dioxide, that's another confirmation that it's mitochondria that's at fault. So we've got him elbow straight, hold strong, and he's strong, but he's not locking like before. Okay, hold this strong, lift your head, hold strong. Okay, so I want to have you take this and just make a seal around your mouth and nose with this, and breathe in and out of just the bag for 6 to 8 breaths. Now what he's doing is rebreathing his exhaled carbon dioxide, which builds up your carbon dioxide in your blood, in your body. Okay, let's retest. Hold your arm straight. Hold. Oh, now he's locking. He's strong. So we haven't done anything else but having raised the CO2 level. And that overcame the weakening effect. So that's another confirmation that it's mitochondrial. Now, even with the blue light on, we showed you how the blue light weakens you, right? He's even weaker now. Now, breathe that again, please. Now, as he builds up his CO2 to make up for what the mitochondria aren't producing, it should override the weakening effect of the blue light. Okay, let's retest. Hold strong. Oh yeah, he's really strong. You feel the difference, right? Okay, so this overrides that weakening effect. Okay, now that confirms that it's mitochondria that's at fault. So what I did before with my meter and with the Wi-Fi router over here, I had this in place and booted this up, and when that comes online, so to speak, you'll hear it and we'll know. So this, remember, this overrode the effects of grounding him and of the red light on him. So we're going to duplicate those conditions. It's starting to boot up now. And you'll hear the obnoxious sound. You'll hear what your nervous system is hearing all the time when you have one of these around. So here it's starting. Okay, now the Wi-Fi router is putting out its signal. Hold strong, and that weakens Alan. Lift your head. Hold strong. There. Now, even with that on, I'm going to turn on the frequency table. I'm going to put a 528 hertz frequency through the table, and then we'll retest him. Okay, hold strong. And he's rock solid, even with the Wi-Fi router. And turn the blue lights on. Hold strong. It overrides the blue lights and the Wi-Fi router. And if I turn this off, hold strong, he's back to being weak. So the healing effects of the sound, the acoustic effects coming from the table are very powerful. Then they are stimulating the mitochondria. I'm not sure if it's changing the heteroplasmy rate of the mitochondria or what it's doing, but it's overcoming the weakening effect on the mitochondria that the light and the other EMFs produce. So acoustic waves hitting the body have a cymatic effect. It's an actual restructuring effect on the matter that makes up our body. So it corrects the sacred geometric patterns that should be there, that are found all through nature. And until that person then goes out and exposes himself to another round of noxious influence that'll upset that symmetry and balance, they'll retain that new structure. So the table has far-reaching effects, but it's able to overcome even the Wi-Fi router. So that's pretty exciting. Thank you for watching.